seconds. Gets it down. Oh, what a save by Ewing with the rejection. A spectacular ending to the first half.
What a terrific effort by Patrick Ewing. Gets all the way back to somehow or other outrace that ball and catch up with Elijah Wan's little hook. All series long.
What's poppin', New York Knicks fans? I was talking over the video. You didn't even hear me, but you can hear me now, so we all good. A lot of stuff going on in the NBA. Crazy NBA. A lot of stuff happening, man. It's wild out here. It's like the wild, wild west, the NBA right now. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's all good. It's all good. You know what I mean? New York Knicks not in a whole lot of news, but a little bit of news. You know, just a little bit of something to talk about with the New York Knicks. First, let's just talk about these. I just want to talk about the Houston Rockets real quick. We just seen the Houston Rockets versus the New York Knicks in the 1994 finals. And of course, we all know how that finals ended with John Starks launching up 3 after 3 after 3 and basically losing that finals for us, right? Losing that game 7 for us. It wasn't all John Starks. I mean, maybe if we made a substitution, took John Starks out the game, but you know what? He got us there all season and we did what we did. But anyway, I seen the way the Houston Rockets did the same exact thing, but it was a team effort this time. It wasn't just one player. It was a team effort, just launching up 3 after 3 after 3. You know what I mean? And I mean, it comes to a point where you gotta realize I'm not making these threes. It's time to do something else. You know, it's time to make another move. And I feel like with the way that the NBA is going nowadays, we're gonna see a lot more of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Houston, Melrose, good. Yeah, nice way to term it. Houston starked it up. You know, but that's the way the NBA is going right now. The game is way more wide open. Obviously, there's not as much post play, but I'm gonna be honest with you. A post player, a player that could score from the post would have helped Houston so much in that game 7. And I'm not saying that you gotta just play in the post and play out of the post possession after possession after possession. You can play your game, but then know that you have a post player that when the time comes, if your threes aren't falling, he can go get you a bucket. That's what it's like with the Golden State Warriors, believe it or not. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, that's what it's like with the Warriors. The Warriors, they launch up 3 after 3, take crazy wild shot after crazy wild shot. They do it a lot. But when it comes down to it, you got Kevin Durant, who he may not be able to like bang you all the way down to the bucket, to the cup, you know, but he can get in that mid-post area and settle you down with a fadeaway jumper, right? Or he can he can get in there and pull that little mid-range at the foul line from a little penetration move or whatever. That's important. It's important to have that. You can switch up your style when need be. You can go back to do what you do, but you can switch up your style when need be. You know what I mean? Post players, it may not be the same type of game where you bang it into the post and everyone runs off the post and you just kind of ISO the post. That game is gone. But the post play will never go away. It just won't. You need it. You know what I mean? You need it. Anthony Negron, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for jumping on with us. Hopefully we have a good show tonight. But you gotta have that post play. You know what I'm saying? It's important. And Houston has none. That's the thing that really, really hurt them in that game 7. They have none. Obviously, not having Chris Paul there hurt them because I think Chris Paul, in that third quarter, there was a time when they just went bat crazy, right? And just throwing up stuff from everywhere. I believe that if Chris Paul was there, he would have been able to settle him down. And maybe the outcome would have been different, But still, though, Houston has no one that can do anything in the post. Everyone is perimeter. Even Clint Capella, he's not a post-up guy. You run him off a screen and roll and oop it to the basket, that's what Clint Capella is. That's what he does. He's like that Tyson Chandler type of center, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you got to have one of them guys in there. And Melo, like I seen somebody say earlier, Melo would have helped them out immensely. Yes, he would have. Because when things started getting crazy, you would have been able to say, okay, let's go a couple of possessions, just a couple of possessions to Melo in that high post, in that pinch post, or whatever you want to put him, and let him go to work. You know what I mean? You say PJ Tucker can post up, but it's not consistent. You know what I mean? It's not consistent. I guess he can, but it's not something that you're going to. A guy like Melo really would have helped a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? He would have helped a whole lot, especially in that game 7. I think he would have. I think he would have helped a whole lot. James Harden, man, dude, I don't know. He's cool and everything, but he does some wild stuff. The way Houston and Golden State plays, when Golden State really has it clicking and they're sharing the ball, is really, really nice to watch. But they do some boneheaded stuff too. Sometimes they have some real lazy boneheaded turnovers. And Houston, their offense is just terrible. I don't see anything except for give James Harden or Chris Paul the ball, spread out the perimeter, and let them go for it. And then the occasional screen and roll with Clint Capella. That's terrible offense to me. But anyway, got Golden State and Cleveland in the finals. You know what I'm saying? I believe that Golden State is going to take it. But as much as I do not like LeBron, I wouldn't put anything over LeBron. And the way that he's able to rile up them guys. You know what I mean? I really wouldn't. I wouldn't put anything over him. So I'm interested to see if LeBron is able to pull something out of this team at this point in the finals, because he's talking to them right now like let's cue in on these guys, just go get it. And to tell you the truth, people not complain, but people are talking about Kevin Love not being there. I actually feel like Cleveland is better off without him there, with Jeff Green in the game, because Jeff Green is going to be able to play better defensively on those wing players, where Kevin Love is not going to be able to. He can also shoot the three. He brings a little bit more athleticism to the game. You can bring Tristan Thompson into rebound. So, hey, shout out to Siobhan. You say, forget James Harden. Mike D'Antoni got exposed for the novice he is. No adjustments and too proud to admit his system isn't working and would rather lose. You're exactly right. There had to be a point where he says to the team, okay, we're not hitting these threes. Let's get to the cup. Let's just get to the cup. I didn't see that. They just came out and did the same thing. Time after time again. Payback Carter. Yeah, are you saying about Cleveland and Jeff Green? Yeah, I do. I think so. I think that they may be a little bit better off with Jeff Green in the starting lineup. I'm not saying that they don't need Kevin Love, because they obviously need his rebounding, outside shooting. But I think defensively they're going to match up a little bit better with Jeff Green in the lineup. I just think they're going to match up better defensively. Now, of course, they're a little bit thinner as far as having players that can come in. And I know Love is a big, you look at, 20 points per game, 9-10 rebounds a game. That's big. It clearly is. But if you look at in the past, Stephen A. Smith brought this up on First Take earlier this morning, and I agreed with him. If you look in the past, it's been the smaller lineups that Houston had needed to use in order to match up a little bit better with Golden State to play them on the perimeter and some things like that, you know. So I think that may help them a little bit now. Where it hurts them is when if they were to go to a lineup that had David West or something, which they probably won't. But if they did put David West in a little bit, Kevin Love is not going to be there to bang with David West. So, you know, Kevin Love can kind of match up a little bit better there defensively. And, of course, you're not going to have Kevin Love's outside shooting or post-up ability. So that hurts, too. You know, that hurts, too. You know, you're gonna miss his ability to score. So it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting. But let's talk a little bit about the burner situation. You know, these burner phones that the Philadelphia 76ers seem to have it's funny. It's real funny. I don't understand some of these people, man. You know, you do some crazy stuff like that. You know it's gonna catch up with you. Come on, you've been in the NBA too long, right? You know. I mean, the Philadelphia media is not as big as New York's media, but it's a close second, right? The culture, the media culture there is a close second to New York's. You gotta know better than that. If that's what happened, you got to know better than that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's wild. And it actually involves KP. Right? You guys may have seen the article, but there was an article on Posting and Toasting. Right? It talks about, you know, one of those burner accounts actually mentioned KP. And so, you know, we'll bring this up. We'll talk about this a little bit. I want to see what you guys think about it, right? One of Brian Colangelo's secret Twitter accounts, and this is from Posting and Toasting, preferred Kristaps Porzingis over Joel Embiid. All right, preferred him over Joel Embiid, and it could be true, right? I guess the account says earlier this season, Honest Abe compared him favorably to the Knicks' Kristaps Porzingis. I am a Philly fan, but I'll outtrade the process for the unicorn in a heartbeat. The account wrote, such a smart player. So what do you guys think about that? Now, obviously, you know, Philadelphia right now, you know that they are going to keep Joel Embiid. But who do you think is better? You know what I'm saying? I mean, compared to the two, I mean, it's. I like Porzingis' mobility better than Joel Embiid's. Although Joel Embiid is able to, you know, post up, he can shoot the three, but. You know, I don't know what his percentage was or is, you know, but I don't like his, I mean, that's basically what he's going to do, right? He's going to shoot the three. He's going to post you up. The thing is, he's basically unstoppable in that post. He's so big and he is mobile. Not really on the wing is he mobile, but he's mobile in the post, right? Not really mobile on the wing though. And, you know, shooting the three is really just kind of a setup three, you know, that he's going to shoot, right? He's going to shoot the setup three. He's not going to come off the dribble and shoot a three. He's not going to come off of screens and shoot a three. You know, so that's where, you know, between the two, it'd be a tough call. If you're not taking into account KP's injury, if you're not taking it, see, that's one thing with Joel Embiid why I think I would stay away. I think he's even more injury prone than Porzingis. I think he's going to be. I think that he's going to be very injury prone. I'm hoping that KP, when he comes back, although he's been injury prone, I'm hoping that this is a one-time thing with his knee. I'm sure that there's going to be a couple of times when he's going to have to get some cleanup surgery done with it. But I'm hoping that he's not going to be as injury prone as Joel Embiid. That's one big reason why I would, but just talking about them two, I would rock with KP, because of the injuries. Because of the injuries. And his mobility is better. Now, if KP ever bulks up, he's definitely not going to get to be the size of Joel Embiid. That's not his body type. Totally different type of body. You know what I mean? Totally different type of body. He'll be, but once he bulks up, he'll be able to bang in the post a little bit. But KP is working to get back in shape, to get back together. Of course, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the videos with KP getting himself together. Got this video. I know it's not from the Nick of Time show, but I seen it from the Nick of Time Twitter account. So I just definitely want to, shout that out. And you can see, I'm going to pull it over here real quick. You can see KP getting his work in. We got our man KP in the gym, getting his work in. He's working with it, you see him just doing some light work, just enough to, keep his rhythm there. And what I do, what I hate the fact that he's not able to, and there you see, from Nick of Time show right there. But I hate the fact that he's not going to be able to really put in the work this offseason. You know what I mean? He was in the league, been in the league 3 years, going on his 4th year. Took a leap this year, right? He definitely took a leap this year. He still has to define himself as that alpha dog player, in my opinion. He may have the alpha dog mindset, but he may have the alpha dog mindset, but he's got to solidify the fact that he's actually that alpha dog player, in my opinion. He hasn't done it yet. He's on the way, but he hasn't done it yet. He's got a lot to learn. Of course, this season, or this season that just passed, was his first year being the man. And it really, really hurts his development in that area with this injury. You know what I mean? It hurts. Because everything that he'd been able to look at, he's going to go back and he's going to look at video, see what other teams do, where they send their double teams from, where they, where they like the areas they try to push him to. He'll be able to see those things and then develop moves, develop an arsenal to combat those different strategies. He can't do that. He can't do it. And it really hurts because even though when he does start to get back and work a little bit, he'll be able to work on it. To do those things consistently in an NBA game, in any game, it takes muscle memory, right? So, you catch the ball, you see where that double team is coming, you know exactly where to look. How does that happen? You don't think about it at the time that it happens. It happens because you've done it so much, your body automatically looks in that direction because you see where the double team is coming from, right? So it's muscle memory. And what you've got to do, you build that muscle memory over the summer. Over the summer, you build muscle memory. As you play in games, of course, you also build muscle memory. So it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt his development a little bit. I think it sets him back a year or something like that. Because he's gonna miss that year. Now he may get stronger, so it will help hopefully it'll help his development there because his body will get stronger. Hopefully. You know what I mean? But that concerns me. That bothers me. It doesn't concern me. It bothers me because I don't like the fact that he's got to miss, this much development. Because it's definitely it's what he needs. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm gonna open up the lines. Call in. I want to hear what you think about Joel Embiid and Kristaps Porzingis. I want to know what you guys think about it. Where you guys at with it? I want to hear about, what you think about his development. And are there things that he can do, although he is injured and can't really get on the floor? Are there things that he can really do to work on that development? Of course, he can look at tape. If he's able to stand on the floor the way that, he was you seen him just bouncing a little bit, shooting a couple of shots, then maybe he doesn't have to do it real hard, right? But he can stand in the post or wherever he's going to catch the ball when somebody sends somebody to double team and then he pass it out to wherever that area is, or slowly, go through upper body movements or some things like that. I guess there's some things like that he can do. He can hit the weights. Of course, he can hit the weights. So there's some things like that he can do along with watching tape. Right now, the Knicks director of performance, Mubarak Malik, he's in Madrid with Kristaps Porzingis. So that's one area that we were worried about, that he was over in Madrid and we don't really know what's going on and everything. But Mubarak, he's over there with KP. He previously traveled to Latvia to help Porzingis train for his rookie season. So now he's over in Madrid helping KP get rehabilitate. And of course, Fizdale plans to visit Porzingis in Europe this offseason. I'm getting that from Ian Begley. Ian Begley's, you go to Ian Begley's Twitter account, it's right there. All right. So, KP is getting in a little bit of work. I'm glad he's getting in some work. But if you're free, give me a call. Hit me on the Skype. Let's talk a little bit. All right, let's talk a little bit about Kristaps Porzingis and the New York Knicks. Michael Beasley. Here's a question that continues to come up in the chat. What do we do with Beasley? It's hard to say. Right now it sounds like there are teams that are really interested in Michael Beasley. You know what I'm saying? Michael Beasley, 13 points, 5-6 rebounds this season, shot 50% from the field. It's not bad. Defensively, he can obviously be better. Sounds like Phoenix is interested in him. Somebody else, let me see if I can pull that up. Somebody else is interested in him. I see some people say keep him. Some people say let him walk. I think it depends on if Scott Perry, Steve Mills, if they really want to try to make a push. If they want to try to make a push to the playoffs, they'll probably keep Beasley. If they can afford Beasley. That's one thing, if they can afford him, right? If it's me, I'm not doing anything past a 1-year deal with Michael Beasley. I think that we need to preserve our cap space for the future. You know what I mean? Knicks Fan TV saying 1-year deal. Yep. That's where I am. That's where I am as well. 1-year deal. If we have the money, you can give them a decent deal, right? If we have the money, but nothing crazy. Michael Beasley to me is not a long-term option. I think he's a placeholder, someone that's going to be there temporarily. If we need to be able to score, then Mike Beasley can help us out there. I don't look at him as being anything in the long term. You know, seeing anything in the long term. Not for Michael Beasley. Not for Michael Beasley. Atlanta, yeah, and he has a home in Atlanta, right? So, with him having a home in Atlanta, he, I think that is definitely, that interests him because he has a home in Atlanta. So that's definitely, an area that he's looking towards. And we'll see what the market offers him. If I'm the Knicks, I let him go out and talk to people. See what they offer him. And then come back to us. If he wants to be in New York, then come back to us and say, this is what I'm being offered out here in the field. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. That's how I would handle Michael Beasley. Let me jump back here real quick. I see some super chats come through. Let me grab these super chats. Big up to Rafi. My man Rafi, man. Said, Rafi, I'm choosing KP over Embiid. He ain't got the range and can't stretch the floor. Plus, he's unreliable in terms of injuries. I feel you. I'm with you. I hear you on that, Rafi. Robert Paris, thank you for the super chat. You said we need a defensive five who can rebound. I hear you. Yeah, I'm with you. We need a defensive five who can rebound the ball. And I think that's why some people believe Wendell Carter Jr. could be that guy. Obviously, people would like to have Mo Bamba. But Mo Bamba right now is he's going to be in that top five. I feel pretty confident about that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I feel pretty confident about that with Mo Bamba. All right. Siobhan, thank you for the super chat. Said, if we are drafting a wing, Beasley won't work. But what about Beasley at the 4? See, I think that they would probably use him at the 4. Now, from everything that I'm reading, Beasley is excited to work with Fizdale. Fizdale is kind of excited to work with Beasley, or likes Beasley. So that may be something that makes them say, we can make this work. So I don't know. But if the Knicks draft a wing and you have a 3, so if the Knicks draft a wing, and let's assume that wing is going to start. Let's just assume that wing's a starter. Right? So you have Frank or Trey at the point. You have Tim Hardaway back to his natural position at the 2. And then you have whoever we draft, if that's a wing player, at the 3. That's if it's a 3. Then you put Beasley at the 4. Right? Then at the 5 is either going to be KP. It's either going to be Kyle O'Quinn if Kyle O'Quinn is here, or it's going to be Enes Kanter. So I think he fits in that 4 spot as a substitute for KP. That's true, Tyron Reed. Can't keep everybody because we got 2 picks coming. So there's going to be some movement in his lineup for sure. There has to be. Now, the 2nd round pick, you may not necessarily sign that 2nd round pick, but you're definitely going to sign your 1st round pick. Okay, you're definitely going to sign your 1st round pick. You got to sign your 1st round pick. 2nd round pick, you don't know. That person can come in summer camp. They could be a 2-way player. I think 2-way players only sign for 1 year, right? That player could end up being a 2-way player. You just never know. You know what I mean? My man CP the Artist broke the ice for me tonight. What's poppin', my man?
Hey, man, anytime I can help you out.
Yeah, for sure, man. I was wondering. I was like, oh, nobody wants to call in tonight.
Man, it's a Wednesday night. Everybody probably looking for Drake's response.
Yeah.
So, don't feel too bad.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you probably right. Everybody checking that.
Everybody on Canadian time, man.
Yeah. So what's popping with you, man? How you feel about Michael Beasley?
Yo, I really think that Atlanta is gonna like offer him multiple years, and that's something that he can't turn down. And
True.
I think he probably earned it somewhere else. And we're not in that position to give him multiple years.
Right.
So, it's only right, man. Because let me ask you something. Like, so if a team is under the cap, right, they have to get to the threshold.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
So they have to, purchase players. Is that correct?
Yeah. So there's a minimum. There's a floor, right? There's a minimum that you can, and you can't go below that minimum. So you have to be at that minimum, right? I think Philadelphia was in that situation a couple of years ago. They had so much money, and they were paying their players so little. They had to sign players just to get to that minimum, whether or not they were keeping those players or not.
Right. So yeah, I would see that he would definitely find his way to one of those situations because I think Atlanta is going to have the cap space. About the whole KP and Embiid, I take Embiid all day. Everybody think I'm just hating on
KP,
but it just is what it is, man. I mean, I think Embiid, like when I watched him play, he was just so dominant, man. I mean, it was true. Like from side to the post when they needed, points in the post, he got to them. When they needed to block shots, he just did everything. And yeah, the injury factor is something, but I think KB's in the same situation as in injuries. You know what I'm saying? I think being 7'3", 7'4", whatever, is going to be a uphill climb for him. You know what I mean? So, injury is going to be part of the thing, and he's a finesse dude. You know what I mean? KP's a finesse dude, and he doesn't want to bang. He don't want to be a 5.
That's the truth.
He don't care about being a 5.
Right. That's the truth. He does not want to be a 5. Right. He's already said it. He wants to be a 4.
Yeah. And nobody can handle him. Like nobody can physically, handle Embiid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, his worst thing right now is his GM and getting injured. You know what I'm saying? That's his biggest 2 enemies right now.
Yeah, man, that whole thing with Philadelphia is crazy. It's really wild. And Philadelphia, they want to go get. They want LeBron James to come to them. They want Paul George. With this kind of stuff going on, you may not get those guys. You know what I mean?
And Ben Simmons is dating one of the Kardashians, so it's like they really.
Right.
It's like anywhere LeBron goes, somebody's dating a Kardashian. You noticed that?
And I'm telling you right now,
he go to LA, somebody's dating a Kardashian. He go to Houston, somebody's dating a Kardashian.
Right. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons will end up in Los Angeles. I think he's going to end up with the Lakers. Maybe not after his first contract, after his rookie contract, but after his next contract, if they're not winning a championship, or if they're not a championship caliber team, like actually going to the championship, maybe they didn't win it, whatever. I think he's going to the Lakers. I think he wants to be in LA.
Yeah.
And he wants that lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, that would be real team light skin. I'll tell you that much. I mean, you have all that yellow. With the yellow.
That's funny.
Crazy,
right. But yeah, I really do.
I would have to join the team.
Huh?
I would have to join the team, man. That's just a whole bunch of light skins. You know what I'm saying?
You had to join the team. Yeah. I think that's where Ben Simmons is going to end up.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to end up in LA at some point. I was watching a documentary about Ben Simmons and him coming from high school from Australia.
Yeah, he was ready. He was ready to be a Laker.
He was ready to be a Laker. He was ready for it. You know what I mean? Right. And I think he's gonna end up there somehow, some way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was about it, brother. I ain't gonna hold you up.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call. Thank you for breaking the ice, getting some people to call in and talk to me a little bit.
All day, brother.
All right, man. Peace out, man. Have a good one.
All right.
Peace. Yeah. Yeah. So Michael Beasley, man. It sounds like Michael Beasley has some offers out there, and look, it's not gonna hurt the Knicks. It's not gonna hurt the Knicks if he doesn't sign back in New York. I think he does want to be in New York, but I don't think it's definitely not gonna hurt the Knicks. The only thing really it does, especially when we're talking about next year, is it opens up time for young players to ball. You know what I mean? Opens up time for young players to go ahead and get it in. So Michael Beasley he's drawing interest from the Hawks and from the Suns. Let me see what this says. Let me see what it says here. Oh, 1 minute, bro. 1 minute, bro. I don't got you on just yet. I'm gonna have you in there in a second. Says, never mind. This doesn't explain anything. It just says, that the Hawks and the Suns are interested in Michael Beasley. The Knicks are gonna have like an $8 million over the exception or whatever that they can use. I'm not sure if they want to take that $8 million exception. They can use it all on Beasley. They can split it up. And that's $8 million a year, I believe it is. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I believe it's $8 million a year. So, if you do use it, then you're using that exception to sign Michael Beasley for, maybe multiple years, because I'm sure he's going to want multiple years. But then, you're putting yourself in a salary situation that is just not necessary. It's just not necessary right now. You know what I mean? You got young players. We got a young team. Going to be mostly young players. It's not necessary to have any kind of hardship with your cap. As a matter of fact, we should be looking to reduce the cap as much as possible. You know what I mean? Philadelphia, they're a playoff team. Over 50 wins this year. They're going to have like $60 million in cap space this summer. $60 million. Now, they've got to use that money to re-sign some of their own players. But they still $60 million in cap space to rebuild, to put players around Simmons and Joel Embiid. Roll Mason, what's popping, man? I think, is this the first time you called in?
Yeah, it's the first time call. What's going on, chat?
What's going on, man? Glad to have you join us.
But look, I wanted to talk about the draft.
Okay.
I know you're talking about Michael Beasley and all that.
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, I think there's not too much more we can say about Beasley, right?
All right, so I was doing some research.
Okay.
And I'm hearing the Knicks is really into this kid named Lonnie Walker from Miami.
Yeah. We talked about that a couple of shows ago. Lonnie Walker.
But I got a theory.
Okay.
What I think what the Knicks is thinking. As we know, if we look next year into the draft, 2019 is loaded when it comes to three guards. We got Zion Williamson, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, and they all playing on Duke next year.
Okay.
I know one thing David Fizdale said he was interested in is positionless players.
Right.
He just want length. Lonnie Walker's 6'4" with a 6'9" wingspan. My thinking is Tim Hardaway's expendable.
That's been going around a lot in this chat, man.
What you think about drafting a shooting guard this year? Either Lonnie Walker or what's that kid from Texas Tech? What's his name?
Not sure. Let's see. See if I can look it up. Now, see, the Knicks have been their pre-draft workouts have been shooting guards. You know what I'm saying? We posed this question a couple of shows ago. You know, I mean, and, you know, what does that mean? They've really been looking at shooting guards. Now, shooting guard spot, you got Tim Hardaway Jr., you got Courtney Lee, you got Damian Dotson, you got Ron Baker, right? And then they talk about Frank Ntilikina is, you know, can be a point guard, can be an off guard as well. So if they're looking at drafting, the possibility of drafting a shooting guard, now of course you need to have wings, right? In the NBA, you need to have wings. You need to have forwards, small forwards and wings. You know that those are prime positions in the NBA. But man, we already got a lot of them, which means if they're looking at drafting one, and that's going to be your first round pick, you know this person is getting signed and is going to get playing time. Somebody's got to go. Right.
And that's what Tim Hardaway. I recently read an article too that Courtney Lee liked something on Instagram pertaining to him getting traded.
That he liked it.
Yeah, I mean it's something simple. I don't think you can make too much about somebody liking a comment on Instagram.
Right.
But you know, they looking into everything right now. I believe Courtney Lee expendable. I believe Tim Hardaway is expendable. I believe we trying to draft positionless, long wing players, regardless if it's a 2-guard or a 3-guard. I believe that we looking in hindsight, knowing that we're not going to be too good next year, into knowing that we could get a high draft pick next year. And I know you know about the boy Zion Williamson. That's just one out the bunch.
And see, the thing with Tim Hardaway Jr. is his contract, right? Are people going to take his contract? Courtney Lee's contract is not too bad. Courtney Lee's making $12 million a year. I think he has 2 years left on his contract. It's not going to be that hard to move Courtney Lee.
You don't think a team like Cleveland, let's hypothetically speak that LeBron stays in Cleveland. You don't think a team like Cleveland will take Tim Hardaway Jr. contract?
I don't know. They might. They might because he's young. He's 25, going to be 26 years old. Now, if LeBron is staying, but see, they got J.R. Smith.
They're going to need a new team next year. If he do stay, it's going to be a whole new team around LeBron.
Right. Yeah, there's going to be a new team around LeBron. LeBron's going to go get some players. If he stays, LeBron is bringing some players with him. You can guarantee that. LeBron he's bringing some players with him. You know what I mean? If they bring Tim Hardaway there, what do you do with J.R. Smith?
J.R. Smith, what was his contract that he signed of
So J.R. Smith, let me see. J.R. Smith signed for he makes $13.7 million this year, $14.7 million next year, and $15.6 million the following year.
And Courtney Lee?
Courtney Lee makes $12 million this year. Courtney Lee, let me get back to it. Courtney Lee made $11.7 million this year. He's making $12.2 million next year, and then $12.7 million in 2019, 2020. Right? So Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee's contracts actually match up. Not as far as size, but as far as length is concerned, they match up as far as length. Now, Tim Hardaway Jr., bring this back over here. Tim Hardaway Jr., he made $16.5 million this year, makes $17.3 next year, $18.1 in 2019, 2020. Then he has a player option for 2020 and 2021.
No, all right. So look, I want to jump out the window a little bit. We all been hearing for years that Kenneth Faried from the Denver Nuggets been wanting to come to the Knicks.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, he is getting no playing time in Denver. So would it be too much to ask for if we did like a 3-team trade? JR gets sent to Denver, Timmy gets sent to Cleveland, and Faried gets into the Knicks. Would that match up in Dallas?
In Dallas, let me see. Kenny Faried makes $12.9 million. This year he made 12.9. He makes 13.7 next year. Now, there is this like 25%, you can send out or receive 25% more than you send out, or, however it goes. Now, if you were doing that, I guess you would be doing that to just, if you really wanted to cut loss, if you really wanted to get rid of Tim Hardaway Jr., then maybe that's something that you do because his contract is shorter, right? So that means we get 2 years. That means we have more money free in the summer of 2019. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
I believe we have some assets that a couple teams are going to be asking for.
I think we have some assets. I think that Courtney Lee is one of those assets that teams would be asking for. I'm just not sure about Tim Hardaway and with the amount that he makes. If Tim Hardaway was making what J.R. Smith makes or Courtney Lee makes, he'd be so much more valuable, right? But I think the fact he shot...
Luol Deng is making about $18 million a year. So I don't think Luol Deng from Los Angeles.
He's making $18 million, but nobody want Luol Deng anymore.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of bad contracts out there, and Tim Hardaway actually produced. So I don't think teams is really is despaired by that $17 million that they might have to give up to a player that actually can produce.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially when you have Joe Noah too in the background, just lingering. I was looking at his Instagram today too, and he's all the way zoned out. I don't know what's up with that man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what Joe Kim Noah is doing. You know what I mean? I think I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I don't know if they're gonna give him a chance or if they're gonna buy him out. Who knows?
There's a lot moving around.
They could try to stretch him. I really don't want them to stretch him because then we're on the hook for his contract for a while. But if they wait for another year and then stretch him, then we're on the hook, but not for as much money. You know what I mean? So, man.
I know Paul Millsap got a really bad contract, so I know you're about to let me go. But I know Paul Millsap got a bad contract. And it wouldn't be too much to ask for if we looked at Paul Millsap and Kenneth Faried for Tim Hardaway and Joe Kim Noah.
What's Paul Millsap's contract? But see, I don't know if I want to touch Paul Millsap.
He get about $30 million a year.
Paul Millsap he made $30 million this year. He's making $29 million next year, and then $30 million in 2019, 2020. That's a wild contract, man.
Contracts out there. Teams is looking to unload. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts this offseason.
Yeah, it might be. It might be, man. Hey, bro, appreciate the call, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. Call back. Make sure you call back.
Definitely.
All right, peace. Oh, thought I had Tony Crow on the line. Tony, give me a call back. Yeah, I seen Knicks Fan TV say, he'd rather keep Tim Hardaway. And I feel what you're saying there, Knicks fan, but my thing with Tim Hardaway, I don't mind giving Tim Hardaway another year. You know what I mean? Because he was in a new, he was in a new role this year. Never had this much responsibility. He was playing out of position. So, another year to see if he can really see if he can get that shooting percentage up. See what Fizdale can do with him, right? Because, Tim Hardaway, to me, he could have been a much better shooter if he had if he shot better shots. Right? He always shot wild shots. So many times, shooters in the NBA, not just the NBA, but all over the place, guys will be really have the ability to be good shooters, but it's their shot selection that kills them every time. You know what I'm saying? They have a bad shot selection, and then it brings down your shooting percentage. You know what I mean? Quindell Barry, what's poppin', man? First time caller?
Yeah, man. First time caller, and I just want to give you props. I'll let you know, keep doing what you're doing, man, because
appreciate it, man.
Making some noise out here.
Okay, I'm with you, man. Appreciate it. I mean, you guys calling in and joining me. I mean, it's all one team. You know what I'm saying? We all making it happen out here.
I feel you. I got something for you right now, man.
Okay.
I remember, I want to say, probably last week it was, I was saying about the possibility of trading KP, and it was for a cap, cap. What do you think about this? And I've been thinking about this for a while, because some of my friends have been saying, we should have traded KP for Kyrie, like when Kyrie was available. And I didn't agree with him back then. But now, more and more, I'm starting to look at KP and see how, I mean, you guys said it better than me, that he's such a diva, But what do you think about this? Trading KP for the Clippers' second. I mean, not the second. What picks do they have? The 12th and the 13th pick.
The Knicks had who? The Clippers.
The Clippers. The
Clippers had the 12th and the 13th pick. Yeah.
What do you think about that? Trading KP for the 12th and the 13th pick. That's what I really want to.
Trading KP for the 12th and the 13th pick.
Yeah.
See, I'd be scared to do that.
You're still keeping your ninth pick. So let's say you get a Colin Sexton, who I'm really high on. A Colin Sexton, and you get you probably won't get McCall Bridges, but you might get him a Miles Bridges or a Kevin Knox. You know what I mean?
Man, I'd be scared. I wouldn't do it because you don't know what those players are going to be. At least you know what KP is. You get the 12th and 13th pick, because people are not going to judge you on what happened with that 9th pick. If that 9th pick becomes a superstar, great. That 12th and 13th pick, they're going to say, you had a superstar with the 9th pick, and then that person could have been paired with KP. Instead, you traded that person, and you got Kevin Knox and Colin Sexton, and they turned out to be mediocre players.
Right,
you know what I mean? You know what you got in KP.
Mm. But have you heard? I may be messing up his name, but what's his name? Jay Williamson. Jay Williams. What he said about Colin Sexton, that he has the upper body of a what's this guy who went to Milwaukee, the point guard.
Brogdon? That went to Milwaukee a couple years ago?
Phoenix. Yeah, he went. No. He went from Phoenix to Milwaukee. The point guard.
Bledsoe.
He has the upper body of Bledsoe and the mentality of Russell Westbrook. That he just wants to put you into the ground when he's charging through the hole.
I mean, he might. It might be, it might be true, but we still don't know if that's going to translate into the NBA yet. You know what I mean? You just don't know until they get there. You just don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't give up KP for the 12 and 13. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it at all. I mean, if I'm trading KP for draft picks only, you got to give me the first. I need something in the middle and something at the end and another player.
So the 12th to 13th and second round, and maybe a late first round as well. That's what you're saying.
I mean, you got to get some money from him. You got to get some money for it. You know what I mean? You got to get some money for it. Even though he's hurt, even though he's got the knee injury, his value is still very high, I think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think his value is still real high. So you really gotta get something for him if you're gonna give up KP. Which the Knicks, I don't think it's even in their mindset to trade KP. You know what I mean? They want to see how he's gonna heal, then how he's gonna mess with Fizdale. What is it going to look like when him and Frank are finally on the court together? Last year, they never really played much together, Frank and KP. They played a little bit together.
That's true.
When Frank really started to get playing time, then KP was hurt.
Right.
So I'm sure they want to see what that's going to look like.
Right.
I mean? Yeah. But
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, Quindale, thank you for the call, man. Definitely call back. I know your first time caller. Definitely call back, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for let me spread something that I got on my mind.
Hey, that's cool. That's what we're here for. Definitely.
I feel you, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Peace.
Later.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't trade KP for the 12 and 13 picks. If I'm trading KP, like I said, we talked about Cat and KP, Karl Anthony Towns and KP. I'm not bringing that back. I'm just saying, we talked about that. You know what I mean? But, if you're going to trade KP, you gotta get some serious money back. You got to get some serious green back. You know what I mean? If you're going to trade KP, because, the man got a lot of value. You got to get something serious back. And draft picks, you don't know what draft picks are going to do or what they're going to be. Feel me? Draft picks are unproven. Straight up unproven. My man, Tony Crow, man, what's poppin', man?
Yo, Black, it's time. Shout out to the chat. Sim, what's good?
I'm chilling, man. How you?
I'm good. There's no way I'm trading KP for those picks.
Nah.
When I was talking about trading the ninth pick potentially, or if we had moved up a little, for those picks. So nah, no way.
Yeah, I mean,
I might consider it if not Houston, if Phoenix wanted to give up, they 15th.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And Jackson.
Yeah, you got to get some money for it, man. If you're gonna give them up, because you don't know everything you have in them yet, but you know that you got a guy that's gonna give you 20 points per game. Can knock it down from
you got an all-star. Put it like that.
There you go. Right. You got an all-star. You know what I mean? And someone that could turn out to be even more than an all-star. So yeah, you gotta get some green for that. You gotta get some green for that.
All right. Yeah, I do like the new callers though, man. We gotta keep getting these new callers.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Right. Keep getting these new callers in, man. Call in for sure.
Shout out to all the new callers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep coming on. What else is new? What made you come on today? I caught you up for Wimp.
Yeah, I was supposed to come on last night, but I'm getting some work done in the studio, so things were kind of down a little bit. So I decided to jump on tonight instead of last night, and then I'm gonna jump on tomorrow night too after the finals game.
No doubt, man. I'm looking forward to that one, man.
Yeah,
I didn't want the same finals, but
right.
I know we probably on opposite sides of the spectrum since you you don't really have no love for LeBron.
Yeah, but you know what? I ain't even gonna lie. I don't like LeBron, but I root for the underdogs though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I do root for the underdogs, and I kind of feel like I want to see them beat the Warriors. See Cleveland beat the Warriors.
You know what my thing is with LeBron? It dates back to Jordan, because being a Knicks fan, I absolutely hated Jordan. And I hated him so much that I couldn't even appreciate him.
Yeah.
until after he was after he was out the league.
Right.
So I'm trying to at least appreciate the greatness of LeBron and not and not have to wait till he's done to give him his props. So that's my thing with him. So what I mean?
Hey, you know what? I'm with you, man. I hated Jordan so much. I hold grudges. I ain't gonna front. I hated Jordan so much. I do not wear Jordan brand till to today. I've never had a pair of Jordans on my feet just because they're Michael Jordan shoes.
Yeah.
For real, just because they Michael Jordan shoes. I've never had a pair of Jordans on my feet, man. And some of them look dope too, but I'm like, I'm good.
I probably had 2 pair.
Yeah.
But I definitely wasn't trying to support them. And another argument about just as far as those two and their greatness, when you take off the court and you put that into the equation, man, LeBron surpasses Jordan easily.
Yeah, I definitely got to give him that.
You know what I mean? Like, he cares about people, even, you know what I mean? But Jordan, man.
Yeah, you got to give him that. LeBron. Yeah. Jordan was about his money. It didn't care. It didn't matter if little kids in the hood could buy his shoes or not. He didn't care.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He was getting hurt over him.
Right. It didn't matter. You know, LeBron is way more conscious and not afraid to speak his mind either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not worried about, he's not worried about being politically correct. You know, whatever it is, if he feels this way or that way, you know, he says. So I definitely respect him for that. So,
well, that's just my little take on LeBron. I'm just trying to appreciate his greatness while it's happening.
I feel you.
And I prefer he beat the 4-headed monster.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let
I definitely don't want to see the Warriors win, man.
Nah.
I don't want to see the Warriors win.
I'm mad they even beat Houston, man.
Yeah. I want Houston win.
Chris Paul went down. I would have loved to see him in the finals.
Right.
And exactly. You know what? I might have even rooted against LeBron just to see him get his ring.
Just to see CP3 win, right? Yeah. Yep.
But yo, shout out to the chat.
Appreciate it.
Keep doing your thing.
Appreciate it, man.
I'll catch you tomorrow night.
All right.
Peace. Time.
Yeah, definitely big shout out to the new callers. I love to see new callers call in, man. You know, it's a good thing. Have new callers calling in and whatnot. Let's talk about some of these NBA rumors, man, and some of these scuttlebutt that's out here. But let me go ahead and shout out some of these super chats that came in. Mr. GQ NYC said, just so everyone in the chat knows, the Knicks draft party will be at MSG on June 21st at 6 p.m. in the Hulu Theater. I will be at the Knicks draft party. That's what's up. For sure. And then we had a super chat from Famous. Appreciate the super chat. You said 9 and 36 picks. Moutier and or Dotson for the 12 and 13th picks. I definitely don't think the Clippers do that. I don't think they're going to take Moutier and Dotson for the 12th and 13th pick. Ho, are you saying the 9th, 36, Moutier and or Dotson? Okay, I got you. It's possible. I don't know if the Clippers want that 9th pick that bad. Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure they're taking a lot of callers for those 12th and 13th picks. You know what I mean? Vico, man, what's popping? Good. How's it going over there, man? For those that don't know, Vico is from Stroudsburg, the hometown of Frank Ntilikina. Okay, all right. Oh, you went to high school with him? Okay.
In high school, obviously. So.
Hey! Do me one favor. Can you repeat back what you just said? Because I made a mistake and had you on mute.
Okay. I said that we see him like a superstar when he was in high school. So, like, because we see him won a lot of prize and competition in Europe, in here in France. So that's the thing.
So you say you went to the same high school with him. What was he like in high school, man? Was he cool?
Honestly, he was there a few times because he traveled a lot around the France and Europe. So he couldn't be there for a long time, but I heard that he was really good. Even he was really good at school too. And he was a pretty cool guy, and we could talk to him. He was really nice.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good guy, I will say.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. Now, I know there were some people asking about French players. Other French players,
and that surprised me a little bit. That's really surprised me a little bit because they mentioned Eli Okobo, and I was surprised that some American people know him. So he's a point guard, and the last time he played in the Final Four this year, he scored 44 points. He really get hot. He was 10 on 12 for behind the arc. So he was on fire, and people say that he will be around 30 place, but he can be much higher, I think. He has, the American style of play, because he really try to get to the basket and look for foul and this kind of thing. So I really think that because he already declared to the draft, so when he will be there in NBA, I really think that he will adapt pretty quickly. So that's
where is he from in France? Bordeaux, France.
No, he played for Monaco, I think. No. Sorry, Pau. He played for Pau.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a town in, but they often went in the Final Four. So that's a pretty good team.
Yeah. I see. He's 6'2", 180 pounds.
Yes. He has this body already, so but he can develop. But he really have a start of a good body.
Okay.
And a quick mention also, because I really think that the next draft after this draft will be also interesting, because we have another prospect that will be apparently in the top 10 also, and for me is a must watch, because he will declare I think the next year, and he will be 18, and his name is Sekou Doumbouya, and he's four spots, and he's really athletic. He can remind some people, Zion, because he has a pretty big body, but he's much taller than him.
Okay. So how old is he right now?
He's 17.
17 right now.
And he play for the the second division, but this year he will play for the first division in France. Okay. And he said that he will declare in the draft next year.
So he's going to declare the draft next year. Okay.
Yes, and yes, he has some shoot abilities already. Great finisher. and he really has the body and really athletic. So
yeah. I'm looking at a few highlights of him right now. He looks, he's got at 16, this is him. I'm looking at him right now at 16. Yeah. At 16 years old, I'm looking at him right now. And he's got a decent body. Maybe he needs to lose a little bit of baby fat a little bit, but he's got a good body and seems athletic at 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's at 16.
And
that's all right there.
You have another freak athlete, but him, I think that he will declare this year, but I'm not sure. His name is Yves Ponce. He is in college, I think.
How do you spell that?
Yves, Y-V-E-S, and Ponce, P-O-N-S.
Okay.
And you think that Zion Williamson is a great athlete? Just watch him because this man is from another planet.
From another planet. Okay.
Yes, really.
Yeah.
Just before I go, I just want
when
to...
is he? How old is he?
Him, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, but maybe he's 18, something like that. But I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, hey man, hey, we're definitely gonna continue to look to you,
mm-hmm.
To see what kind of French prospects are coming out.
Okay, no problem.
You know what I'm saying? We're definitely gonna keep looking to you for it.
Okay. Just before I go, I just want to explain quickly something that I think we have to do this year, because I think that we'll really lose time with Jeff Hornacek. Because the thing is that I really think that we don't develop the young squad, and something really hits me is that the player like Cornet or Dodson could be really good pieces, but we don't improve them in the right way, in my opinion. So I really think that this season, and obviously KP is not here for a while, so we have to put them on the court and make them play, and I really think that we have also to pick a young wing at the draft, and that can shoot. And why I say that? Because you say something this season that was really bad for us. You say that we were the team in the NBA who shoot the least threes, and that's in the NBA of today. We can't really do that anymore. So we have to put some shooting abilities around, and but the thing is, Frank also don't shoot a lot, but I really think that we will fix that this year.
Okay.
And yes, to progress in this way, I think that we really have to look for a ring that can shoot. At least in the mid range and this kind of things. So
yeah. All right, hey Vico, man, appreciate the call. Appreciate all the
no problem.
The insight. I didn't know there was this much talent over there in France. Honestly, I mean, like I told you before, I didn't even know they had this many black people there. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but it looked like some talent, man. Hey, I appreciate the call. I know I got some other people that want to call in, so.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Keep calling in, man.
Really love what you do.
Say that again.
I say that I really love what you're doing with the Knicks community. Keep doing that.
Appreciate it, man. I plan to. I'm gonna keep it rocking.
Yeah.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yes.
All right, later. Yeah.
Yes. All right, later. Yeah.
On the line now, Manuel Perez.
What's up? Shout out
What's
to the
going
chat.
on, man?
What's up, Knicks fam? Sim, I've been like today, I have like this little group chat with my friends with all Knicks fans together. And today, one of my friends posted a little article about one of the mock drafts. And the article suggested something that I pretty much am all for, which is us taking Wendell Carter with the 9th pick. And since there's rumors of Fareed being like tethered to the Nuggets pick, we might as well take Fareed's contract on and then select Kevin Knox. I mean.
Hey, do me a favor. Can you turn that down in the back?
Yeah, I'm turning it down right now.
Now say that again.
I saw this article today where it had the Knicks taking Wendell Carter with 9, and with 9, I'm all for that. And then with Fareed being rumored to be tied in with the 14th overall pick, and Kevin Knox being like projected to be taken there in pretty much most mock drafts, I think we should just take Wendell at 9 and trade with the Nuggets and try to get 14 and take Kevin Knox.
Okay. So
I feel like we'll be set with the front court for, I say, at least the next 5 years for sure with those acquisitions right there.
Okay. And so what are we getting? So if we trading that 9th pick, what are we getting back?
No, not trade. We take Wendell with 9, and since the Nuggets are so desperate to unload the Fareed contract, they're willing to package the 14th overall pick as long as you take on Fareed. So I think we want to have to be able to give up our first round pick to get it.
Okay, so but the only issue there, I see what you're saying. Right, so they want to give up Fareed. We take Fareed in the pick, right?
And
the only problem is we don't have right. We take his contract, but we don't have any space to take his contract.
That's where that's where us praying and hoping that Cantor doesn't opt back in comes into play.
That's true. But then you still have to. We'd still have to wait. We'd have to make an agreement and then wait until after July 1st, then to make the trade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Cantor can't officially opt out until July 1st.
Oh, okay. So we will have to agree with the Nuggets just to take Kevin Knox, and then after July 1st, make the trade official.
Exactly. Yep. You have to agree with them and then make the trade. You know, but hey, you know what? I mean, it wouldn't be terrible if you're getting that 14th pick. It wouldn't be terrible.
And plus, it's not like Fareed's on his contract for long term.
Right.
He's only gonna.
He's 2 more years. Next year, and then
this season is the last season. I think that he's on his contract. He's a free agent after this season.
Let's see. Let me see again. Now, my thing is, if he's a free agent after this season, why would they want to trade him so quick?
I think he just hasn't been. I think him and Mike Malone don't get along at all, which is one of the reasons why they've been wanting to try to trade him since during the season.
I mean, if it's that bad, you know, you can have the man, you can have him sit out. You know, you don't have to. I mean, if that's what they. Let me see. Yeah. Next season is his last year, right? So I mean, if I'm them, I don't know if I give up the 14th pick just to trade him. I got
they
one
feel
more
like
year
they're a
left.
move away from. They feel like they're a move away from contention with their young pieces. So
Yeah.
they probably feel like that's a necessary move to make.
Right. Right.
So I feel like, I think they're desperate enough to make that. To me, that's a dumb move. I feel like they just need to be patient, and the Nuggets will be all set. But
just be
hey, if
patient.
they want to make that move, the Knicks need to be there and take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I would. If they wanted to make that move and they were going to give us the 14th pick, I'd do it quick.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because now I'm starting. I was with trading down and trying to get those Clippers picks, but now like what you were saying earlier with it's just gonna make the Knicks look like it's gonna be a Knicks move basically if those guys that we trade down for don't pan out.
Right. If you trade now, I mean, it's got to be some guys that they feel are valuable, and we have a glut at that guard spot or whatever. Do we trade the 9th pick for it?
No, I don't feel
the 9th pick for the 12th and the 13th. I don't think the Clippers would do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Colin Sexton will be available to them when they reach down there anyway, because that's the guy that I hear that they really are coveting in the draft.
That the Nuggets are coveting? Oh, the Clippers.
No,
the Clippers. Yeah, probably so. That's probably who they're looking for. And if they really want to secure it and make sure, then they may be looking to move up if that's what they really want. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey,
and Sim, I was gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
One last question. There's another thing. We got into like a little heated discussion earlier, and they were basically because it was who would you rather have if you had the choice of taking the 2 point guards in the draft, Trae Young or Colin Sexton, who would be the better fit in New York? I personally went with Trae Young because I feel like in this league, and it's proven over and over again, you're not going to win with downhill point guards, which is what Colin Sexton is.
Okay. So that's the reason why you would go with Trae Young. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I feel like you it's proven you even though Trae Young's defense is a liability, it's proven you just get the right guys around a guy like Trae Young and he develops his offense to where it could be. You would be able to win a championship with that. With a guy like Colin Sexton's skill set, I'm not too sure. And then plus him being undersized and playing that type of style, I don't feel like that's gonna work that well.
I mean, Young is undersized a little bit too.
But he's a shooter though, so I feel like that kind of like helps him in that sense. With Sexton, he has to play that bruiser style. Like you gotta get out my way. I'm trying to get into the paint, and I feel like undersized guy like that is gonna end up hurting him in the long run more than it's gonna help the team.
Right. Okay. I'm hoping they don't take a point guard at all.
Me neither. I feel like I'm fine with Frank. I'm completely fine with Frank.
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't take a point guard at all and just hit that wing spot. That's what I'm looking for.
Wingless center. That's all we need, basically. Yeah. My dream, we already know Mo Bamba, but it's not happening most likely.
Oh, yeah, that's not happening. Mo Bamba's not happening for us.
And then Boston's trying to trade up for him now, too.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we were just about to get into that. So I thank you for crossing us over into that. We was just about to move into it.
All right, Sim. Well,
all right, man.
I know you're gonna wait for more callers. I'm gonna hop off now. Thank you for having me on.
Definitely,
shout out to the chat.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the call, bro.
Have a nice night, guys.
All right, you too, man. Peace. Yeah, Manuel, thank you for shifting us into this rumors about the Boston Celtics. All right, so the rumor that's out there is that the Celtics are willing to trade Jaylen Brown and whoever else to move up. Let me see. The Boston Celtics general manager Danny Ainge would also likely lead to including young talent such as forward Jaylen Brown or guard Terry Rozier in the deal. All right, so the Celtics are looking to move up and get the number 5 overall pick, with the hopes that they can draft Mo Bamba, and they're willing, and they'd be willing to trade the number 27th overall pick, one of their first round picks in 2019, and possibly a young player, which could be Jaylen Brown or Terry Rozier. I mean, that's a, Boston is making some moves, and they're putting a lot of stock in Mo Bamba. A lot of stock in Mo, which, you know what? They might be right. You know what I'm saying? They might be right. And, Danny Ainge, he's about his business, man. He's about his business. He's got assets that he can move and still, be competitive. If it were me, I don't know if I would trade Jaylen Brown. Maybe I would do Terry Rozier because you got Kyrie. I'm not sure Gordon Hayward is good, but is he going to bring you the same thing as Jaylen Brown? And does he do it as defensively as good as Jaylen Brown? And Jaylen Brown is 21 years old. I don't know if I would do Jaylen Brown in that trade. I might include Terry Rozier. Do they think that much of Mo Bamba now? He fits, he probably fits them a little bit better though, right? He probably, they have a long athletic center and he's still playing behind Horford for a couple of years. And then he can take over that reign when Horford is gone. They're preparing themselves for the future. It wouldn't be bad. Ron Martinez, man, what's popping?
What's up, Steven? Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, how you feel about the Celtics and if they can pull that trade off?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm so nervous about Knicks that it's driving me nuts, because it's like all this draft talk. I don't know how it's making y'all feel, but it's stressing me the hell out with this draft talk because it's like I'm gonna tell you why. Because what's killing me is that Cleveland got ahead of they're in the finals, and here they are ahead of us in the draft. Right? They got the best play. It's amazing how things work with especially with the East on the East. They got the best player in the league, right? They got a draft pick. They're ahead of us in the draft, okay? Mm-hmm. And we all know that if LeBron wants to stay there, his team is gonna want. They basically run that organization. Whatever LeBron wants, LeBron gets. Right. But then he, as a Knicks fan, what stressed me the hell out is like, okay. And I'm just praying to God that Scott Perry has a backup plan, that if the first plan doesn't work out, they could just tear it up and go to plan B. Because if you look at it right now, all these NBA teams make their moves based on what Golden State is doing and what LeBron's doing, right?
Right.
So if LeBron decides to say, okay, you know what? These guys want to come. I'm tired. Let's say, because he already delivered. He gave them a championship. He's never been on record to say that he's going to change. He's going to retire in Cleveland. He's never said that. He's never went on record. He say, I want to bring a championship to Cleveland. So if he leaves, they really can't hold that against him because he did something that hasn't been done in years over there. He brought him a championship, Right. So, and I've been hearing on sports radio earlier today. I was watching Sports Center. They're saying that what may change his decision now is the fact that his kids are older. They're playing basketball. He has homes in L.A., so when you get that monkey off your back, maybe right now, we listen to some of his answers in the interview. Like the other day, he's like, I'm not worried about wins and losses. So I don't know if this next move is about winning more championships or what's going to make him and his family happy. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he may stay in Cleveland. But when you start hearing stuff about he may go to Houston, he may go to Philly, he may go to L.A. Well, you know what? If he goes to the West, that's good for us. But if he goes to Philly, that's an upcoming team.
Right.
Right? So then
Philly, man, that's.
Doesn't that change? And not only that, what I'm thinking is, okay, I know right now the plan is we want to develop players, but sometime as a GM, you got to be flexible because you look at Danny Ainge, you look at this guy from Houston, you got to be able to make the big move with that. You can't be scared to make that big move, whether if it's a young player or a player that's on his way down, because sometimes you know how it is. And right now, looking at the Knicks, it's like, I'm wondering, are they trying to build a team that's going to compete against LeBron because nobody knows if he's staying, or are you trying to build a team that's going to – how do you build a team that can take out Boston, take out Philly, take out Cleveland, but their team is not good enough to beat Golden State? Then what? Right? Because Golden State's still young. They're not over the hill. They're still
young. They're real young. They're going to be there for a while.
So my thing is that I'm wondering in the brain trust, when those guys in that war room, it's like, okay, how are you building your team? Because you look at Houston, no one can tell me they didn't get Chris Paul. They specifically built Houston Rockets to take down Golden State. Of course, it didn't work out. Chris Paul, too bad he got hurt. And James Harden, he's been criticized in the playoffs. They were hoping that he could have carried them but still, it's like, but at the end of the day, if they would have beaten Golden State, I'm pretty sure they still would have been the favorites for the favorites to beat Cleveland,
right?
No matter how good LeBron is,
Yeah.
So, and if you look at LeBron, it's another. I know there's a small window. I know people say, "Oh, no, he'll never come to New York." But the only thing that gives me just a slight hope, even though I can't stand LeBron as a person, as a player, is that he's not crazy about his owner either.
He's not crazy about what?
I'm saying? He's not crazy about Dan Gilbert, his owner. He's not crazy about his owner.
Right.
So,
he's not at all.
That's to me. Right. They were showing him when he came into the after the game, how he passed by. He gave him kind of like a weak palm, and he was coming off the floor after the win. So that goes to show you. That goes to show you that LeBron's there for business. He's not there because he has a relationship with the owner. He's there for Cleveland. He's not there for the owner. So
right.
Even though by default the owner also gets to reap the benefits of him winning, but he's not there for the owner because you can tell that probably he's still holding that grudge about what he said about LeBron when he left, to Miami. He would never win a championship, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, if you can play for that dude, you can play for Dolan.
That's true. Right. That's true. As a matter of fact, though, that's true.
I mean, does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
If you could play for Dan Gilbert, who and Dolan's never gone on record dogging LeBron. He's not. That was a Phil Jackson was the one who made the comment about posse. It wasn't Dolan. Now they may say, okay, we don't. They may get mad because how Charles Oakley got treated, but his beef was more with Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson's not there no more.
Right. I mean, and he likes, of course, they always point out that he likes Fizdale. I mean, right. In my opinion, I don't think I think LeBron wants a ready-made team anyway.
Right.
He wants a ready-made team ready to go to the finals.
And if you look at his team, I mean, realistically, if you take LeBron off of that team, I mean, how many of those players will be starting on Golden State?
They'd be getting you take LeBron off that team, they get the number 1 draft pick.
Not only that, but if you take LeBron on that team, who on the Cleveland Cavaliers could start for Golden State in the finals right now?
None.
They'll all be right in the bench.
Right. None. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So right now with this draft talk, I'm just curious. This draft, I'm pretty sure there has to be a short-term plan and there has to be a long-term plan. I'm pretty sure there has to be a short-term plan going into this season, and what's the next plan for the next 3 to 5 years?
Right. I'm pretty sure.
So, but I know when I call your podcast, I'm always changing things up. But what drives me nuts? Because this is all barbershop talk. But what drives me nuts? Like when they talk about LeBron saying, "Oh, if he wins another champion, this is LeBron versus Jordan, blah blah blah." Yeah, right. LeBron versus Jordan. One thing sometimes I hear people say, Jordan, yes, he was 6-0, and of course LeBron is gonna beat him in other records because LeBron's been playing longer and he's done more. He does more for his team, like rebounding. He plays 5 positions. But let me ask you, Simeon, in your opinion, if Jordan had not retired, would he have won 8 straight championships?
I think so.
Now
easy.
You tell me.
I think he would have won 8 straight easy. The Bulls almost went to the finals. They were in the Eastern Conference. They almost went to the finals without him.
No, I don't Pippen. I remember that, and we ended up playing. And those 2 years, it was the Knicks playing the Rockets, and the Magic played the Rockets.
Right. Yep. The Knicks played the Rockets. The Magic played the Rockets.
So my question:
we beat the Bulls in Game 7. Where if they would have beat us in that Game 7, it wasn't like it was a blowout. It was a tight Game 7. They could have went to the finals. And,
so my question is, Jordan. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say that they would have played. I think they would have played Indiana. They could have beat Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals and went to the finals. Easy. I think they could have went to the finals without Michael Jordan, just to bounce the ball here or there. You add Jordan to that team.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at is the Eastern Conference then versus the competition then versus the competition now. And Jordan was dominating when he was playing the Eastern Conference. And here's another thing. When Jordan was playing, he was playing against dominant centers. They were all in their prime. David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Patrick Ewing, right?
Right. That's true.
In those days, you had dominant centers.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to myself, if he didn't retire, I think he would have been in the Rockets in the finals.
Oh, I think so easy. I think Jordan would have won. Yeah, I definitely think he would have won 8 straight finals. He would have went to 8 straight and won 8 straight.
And that's hard to do, brother. That's hard to do.
We can't say it for sure, but I think he would have.
The chances, I think he would. I mean, if you had to put your paycheck on it.
Yeah, right. right.
I put my money that Jordan would have found a way to beat the Rockets.
Yeah.
Against it. So that's something I always thought about. I was like, you know what? He did retire. And, a lot of people say, what happens if LeBron retires? Because I look at it this way. LeBron, at that time, Michael Jordan, he was going on. That's when his father passed away. His father got murdered.
Yep.
And there was a lot of rumors flying around. Was it because of his father? Was it because of the gambling?
Right.
He lost the passion to play ball, and then he came back. And I think that's also people sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes as fans we become prisoners on the moment, and we forget, especially the younger fans who weren't around to see that. It's like what's that to retire and come back and do a three-peat? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? For sure.
Crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Ron, man, always a good call, man.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? I always got to throw in some barbershop talk there. So.
Nah, it's cool. Yeah. All right, man. So, appreciate the call.
Take care, bro.
Right, peace. Yeah, that's always an interesting debate. Always. I don't know if you guys seen, but the latest ESPN mock draft, they have DeAndre Ayton going number 1. Luka Doncic going 2, Sacramento. Jaren Jackson going to Atlanta, number 3. Marvin Bagley at 4. Mo Bamba at 5 to Dallas, which is the reason why Boston wants to trade up with Dallas. And I didn't mention that Memphis somehow wants to be mixed into that trade scenario if it happens. With their 4th pick. Wendell Carter, this is ESPN's mock draft. Wendell Carter to Orlando at 6. Trae Young to Chicago at 7. Colin Sexton to Cleveland at 8. Mikal Bridges to the Knicks at 9. Lonnie Walker to Philadelphia at 10. That's the top 10 that's the ESPN mock draft top 10. They have Michael Porter Jr. falling out of the top 10. We'll see. Isaiah, what's popping, bro?
What's going on, bro? Shout out to the chat. Black as time. What's popping, Simeon?
I'm chilling, man. Doing good. So, do you think that Michael Porter Jr. will drop out of the top 10?
Yo, I seen that mock draft. I seen it. And to be honest with you, I don't really listen to ESPN mock draft because I think they I don't know. I don't think they really study it because I can't see the Bulls drafting Trae Young, and they don't really need a point guard, and I don't see
who's their point guard right now.
Chris Dunn.
Chris Dunn, and backing him up is the guy that we traded to him, right? Can't think of his name now, but
I forgot, but
the guy that we traded Tim Hardaway and then drafted him. I can't think of his name. Jerry and Grant. Yeah.
Actually, I know a couple of my people that know Chris Dunn. He lived in Connecticut, so
okay.
I know a couple of his people. But I mean, I don't really. I can't. You know what, Sim? I was thinking to myself, that'd be interesting if Michael Porter Jr. is there. And Mikal Bridges is there. That's
right.
That's gonna be interesting because and this is gonna be very interesting because my logic would be why did he fall out of the top 10?
Top 10.
Because there's only one real reason why he will fall out the top 10, and that is if he goes to the workout and his back is completely it's that bad where they think, all right, he's not gonna recover from that back. He might end up being like a Greg Oden or it's just the injury is gonna keep him that way. That's the strongest possibility for Michael.
That's would be what happens. It would be that when teams looked at the doctor reports, the prognosis didn't look well. But then some team down at 11, 12, 13 is going to take him and then if his back turns out to be just fine, it's going to be some mad teams out there.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy, Sim? If we end up still getting Mikal,
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be completely mad, but if he ends up how they projected him to be, I'll be like, damn, maybe the Knicks. But I mean but we all know that's gonna happen in this draft. We all know it's gonna happen. It might not be Michael Porter Jr., but it might be a player we'd be like, damn, that was our Donovan Mitchell. That could have been Donovan Mitchell.
Right. I mean, hopefully the Knicks pick the right one. Hopefully they make the right pick. They pick the right one. That's what we are hoping for. We're hoping this new regime is able to pick that guy out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before a couple of times on the chat, we all know what they're gonna do. They're gonna take the wing. We all know it because Scott Perry and Steve have said it. They're just gonna say the best talent available. I think what they really meant, like you said before, the best wing talent available. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're gonna do because it's just the most glaring hole since Melo left. That's the most glaring hole.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be I just wanted to point this out. It's funny how people say the big man's dead, but it's actually really not. I just thought about that. There's 3 or 4 and taking out the draft first.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: if Michael Porter Jr. is there, it's gonna scare me to say, but I think I might do it. I might have to take the risk.
I mean, I would take him. His talent is he's got to work on his fundamentals. But I think if he's there at 9, I'd probably take him.
Yeah, I think I would too because, I mean, like I said before, unless the back is it's so glaring that it can't be overlooked.
Right.
Then, but it's positive. It's a 50-50. You know what? I'll take that chance and let him come to an NBA team with the medics and take him because if he has a chance to be KD, then I would be pretty pissed if we met.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a gamble, but you're getting him at 9. You know what I mean? I guess you take the chance on a guy that could potentially be a superstar. His talent is there. Is the health there? It's gonna be interesting, man. Hey, Isaiah, as always, thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the call, man.
By the way, I already got the tickets for the draft. So I mean, I know you're still waiting for your pass.
Yeah, I'm still deciding what how I'm gonna do. I was looking at what tickets I might buy, and then now I'm looking to see maybe I'm gonna go to this Knicks draft party at Madison Square Garden. So I'm deciding between a few things.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let us know.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know what's going on.
All right, bro. Be good.
All right. Peace, man. Later. Yeah, a lot of things going on with the draft, man. And I look, I wouldn't be surprised if Boston pulls that off and is able to move up in the draft and get Mo Bamba at number 5. it'd be crazy. You know what I mean? That they would have all this talent on one team, a team that was, just one injury away from going to the NBA Finals, possibly. I mean, and then you're able to get a guy like Mo Bamba in the draft. It'd be ridiculous, and we'd have to deal with Boston for a long time, and we'd have to make moves to deal with them if we planned on. Because we can say, well, we're gonna take some time for LeBron to fade out and this and that, but Boston's gonna be there for a while. Their whole squad is young. They could have been, if they were healthy, they probably would have been in the NBA Finals this year. Their whole squad is young. You got to deal with Boston for a very long time. So we gotta build the right way, and we gotta do the right things if we want to deal with Boston. Yeah. But anyway, I'm about to log off, guys. As always, it's been a pleasure. I am going to be back on tomorrow night after the game 1 of the NBA Finals. Cleveland is going to be in Golden State. It's on ABC. Right? It keeps all these TV rights and all this stuff. It keeps switching around. So it's on ABC. And it's in Golden State. The first game begins at 9. Game 1 begins at 9 p.m. in Golden State. All right, so I'm gonna be on after the game. So I'll probably, when I jump on, it's gonna be 11 o'clock. The game may still be going on. So we'll talk about the game as it's going. Not maybe, it probably will be still going on. All right, but I'm heading out, and I'm looking for these draft party. You got to reserve. You got to do reservations if you want to go to the MSG draft party. So I'm looking at that as well. See what I'm going to do about this draft. All right. But I'm out. And you guys stay peaceful. Have a great day at work tomorrow. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. All right. Peace. Have a good one. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe below. Ring the bell. Get a notification anytime that I go live. All summer long, we're going to be talking New York Knicks, free agency, NBA draft, training camp, everything. We're talking about it right here. Nothing but Knicks. Peace.